Hey, here's a really quick fix of something that I haven't found the information online. I try not to replicate videos because there's plenty of guys that are doing W123 videos, but my intermittent wiper wasn't working, and the only solution that I found online was to replace the relay that is behind your gauge cluster here. So it works again now, and it's actually a very quick fix. I was able to push out the cluster from behind rather than using those little hooks. I left the plate off down here just because I'm currently doing quite a bit of electrical work, and then just disconnect the speedometer line. I was able to reach that relay quite easily. The only thing is that there is a wire loom above that relay that is kind of in the way of pulling it out, but you can shimmy it out pretty easily. And the fix is really that the contacts inside of the relay are just stuck. And in the following clips, I'm going to show you what I did exactly to this relay. And like you see, it's working again right now. Wipe. Awesome. This is one of the key features, by the way, or not features, but this is one of the things that I love, absolutely love about this car, is that rather than throwing out that relay and purchasing a $100 relay, I was able to open that up and quite easily fix that. It's almost everywhere like that in this car. So if you own one of these cars and you're mechanically and electrically, you got a feel for everything, you're probably able to fix so much rather than just replace. All right, enough of the babbling. Here's the actual solution of what I did to the relay. So I removed this from behind the instrument cluster, just in case the model number is 008210863. And so yeah, after prying it open, there's just these little tabs there. I open it up. It actually looks quite good. I was hoping to maybe find some cracked contacts to resolder because that's always the easiest to solve. I looked at the capacitors, and the capacitors actually look very decent. They don't look to be bloated or broken. So everything in here looks pretty decent, and decided not to do anything. But then once I looked around, I noticed that this little contact here is discolored and disformed, and I presume that's from heat. And then I noticed that this plate, which is activated by the magnetic field of the coil, that this wasn't actually moving anymore. I presume whatever happened in here, it heated it up slightly, and this melted into the plastic at the bottom, and then pretty much deactivated this plate. My solution in the end was simply to go in here, because I noticed that there is some play. Right now it's right up at the bottom here, against the bottom. At the top here you can see a slight gap, so I figured if I just pry it up a little bit, it may pop out of that stuck state, and that's exactly what happened. Even though I switched it back to the bottom, it's now still moving. So I'm not sure if maybe the spark clicking of those contacts there welded it shut. In any case, it's moving again. I'm about to put this back in, and right before I am shutting this down, I also took some, this is 800 or 1000 grit sandpaper. I folded it over and cut it into a thin strip, so now I was able to get it right in here between the contacts. And yeah, I put some pressure on it and cleaned up those contacts. The other side is spring loaded, and so you just slide that in there. And I've been just trying to get some of the oxidation out of there. Like that. I'm also going to still spray a little bit of deoxit in that which is specifically made for electronics. Don't use anything else. This is probably just enough if you use the sandpaper. But I'm about to put that back in, and I'm pretty confident that this is going to make this relay work again. No need to throw this out. A lot of the electrics in the W123 are actually quite fixable. So I thought I'd share that with you. Hopefully that saves you some bucks, some dolores on your nice vehicle. Let me know if you found anything else. Hopefully I can answer questions regarding this relay. Quick follow-up to the wiper relay. I actually wanted to give you a tip on how to remove this cluster. I've actually left the panel off down here, and so it's actually quite easy to come in from behind and push it forward. It's a real pain sometimes to, if you don't have those tools to pull the cluster out. And in the case of the relay, I didn't even have to unplug everything. I simply just undid the speedometer line, and I'm able to slide this out far enough that it can get in there. And this is on the back there of the firewall. That's where that relay actually sits, and I can just slide that in without any other efforts. So I'm about to try it. See you in a second. Intermittent wiper relay test. Let's try it out. Oh, comes on in the intermittent wiper stage. Ha! That's all it was. No reason to throw that relay out and spend $100. That's a really easy fix. I hope it stays for a while, but I'm quite confident that this is going to work. Yeah, here's the constant. That's now interward. There we go. It works. Quick fix for you.